Paranormal Detectives has 2 to 6 investigators interviewing a ghost to try and figure out how they died. Lucky Duck Games provided this in exchange for an honest review. The detectives take a screen and matching interaction cards, pen, and investigation sheet. The ghost takes their sheet and interaction cards. The main board goes between all players, and the bits, talking board, ghost meter, and wound markers, plus tarot cards can all go on the main board. Keep the hangman's knots and quill pen sheet nearby. We've edited this image to avoid spoilers. Anyhow, the ghost secretly looks at a story card, then places wound markers on the main board's chalk outline area. Finally, read the italicized sentence to the players. Players now have the starting information. The detective plays an interaction card, then asks a question that cannot be answered with yes or no. The ghost will reply following the rules of the card. Some will require them to mouth a word, or make a sound, or even draw on a detective's back. Detectives pay attention to all answers, whether to their own questions or those asked on another detective's turn, and then make notes to help them solve the case. There are a few other fun interaction cards to answer detectives' questions. The ghost might need to arrange 3 tarot cards, or use up to 5 markers to point at the first letters of a word. See how letters are in groups? You didn't think this would be easy, did you? There's also this ghost meter, which is a series of scales to answer questions like size, weight, speed, noise level, and so on. Once you're ready to make a guess, you may attempt one on your turn. The ghost player will secretly write on the detective sheet how many of the 5 keywords were correctly guessed. If all 5 were correct, both ghost and that detective win. Most of the time, the game will continue. The ghost then secretly marks the number on their sheet to track progress. After 2 incorrect guesses, you're out. The game ends when all detectives are out of cards, or all detectives have guessed twice. After the detectives guess and the game isn't over, the ghost plays one of their interaction cards and provides a bonus clue to detectives. Once the endgame triggers, the winning detective, assuming nobody guessed all 5 keywords, is the first detective to come the closest. Play cards, ask questions, and use the answers to solve the mystery. That's Paranormal Detectives. Paranormal Detectives has incredibly simple rules, but you need to think hard to piece together the clues. Young kids might not understand the situations, and some have explicit content, although those are labeled and can be avoided. I wouldn't suggest this for kids younger than 10. Each player will need a personal area the size of a placemat, and the main board is also about the size of one. I'd suggest a dining table for any count other than 2 players. The length really depends on the players. You might want to use a timer to keep things moving along. For the most part, games can be played in 45 to 60 minutes, including setup and takedown. Our 4th game of Paranormal Detectives was using the co-op variant. Mom was the ghost, and me and Dad were on the same page almost right off the bat. We just couldn't figure out / agree on the weapon. Well, it turns out we weren't as close as we thought. Paranormal Detectives has 28 scenarios. That's impressive. There's also an app, like with their brilliant Chronicles of Crime series, that may offer additional cases to download in the future. It's not dramatic, but the playable characters have one card different from each other. It's a nice way to make them a little unique. I enjoy both sides, but I think I like being the ghost a little bit more. As a detective, it can sometimes be hard to communicate precisely what you want to say. As a ghost, you're like, okay, how do I give them information without giving it away? This isn't a bad thing, though. The art is excellent, and the components get the job done. My favorites are the hangman's knots. The rope is stiff like a pipe cleaner, meaning it keeps its shape when you're manipulating it. Some of the cases are intense. I haven't played the ones with warnings, but even those without, the second one for example, are pretty depressing. If sensitive, skip this. It's nothing like Haunt the House, a good family game from Kids Table Board Gaming. This works really well, even with 3. That surprised me. There's a co-op variant where the detectives can talk out loud and try to puzzle things out, but you can only have 2 total chances to guess. Yikes. I personally prefer the competitive game. While we haven't made one of our own yet, Chronicles of Crime has a case creator. I hope Lucky Duck makes one for this. If anything, I think it'll be easier to create your own cases here than in that game. Paranormal Detectives is an incredibly clever idea and a fun twist on deduction games. I worry that the art might make it seem more like a family game than it actually is. This is kind of a party game for people who don't like party games, and a deduction game for people who don't like long mysteries or ones with hidden roles. People who aren't creative will struggle, and people whose imaginations are too active might find it impossible to narrow things down. Like Chronicles of Crime, the game is only as good as the players, the cases, and the long-time support. Lucky Duck has been very supportive of Chronicles of Crime. If they're even half as dedicated to releasing expansions and/or DLC, this is going to be a hit for a long time.